What's up, Choosing Fusion fans? How is everyone doing? It's been a little while since I've made one of these videos, and at the request of my buddy Brian, he's looking to see something a little bit different this time. Something a little more fun, something that I only have one deck built for right now, and that's for the Legacy format, which is just Fusion plus GT. Personally, I don't have a ton of experience in terms of playing the GT card game. I played a little bit of Focus GT back in the day. I was a big Baby Vegeta fan. Wasn't exceptionally good, but I liked the character a lot, so I played him a ton. But other than that, I didn't really dabble too much into GT. By that point, I had just admittedly gotten kind of out of card games at the time. It wasn't until I got older and got back into it that I got a little bit more desire to play it. But with the Fusion format here, and its inherent ridiculousness, there are some certain crazy things that you can do that I thought would be very, very fun to build a deck around. So, we're going to look at Gogeta in Cell Saga Saiyan. So, as everyone knows, fantastic mastery. When entering combat, discard a life card. If it's a Saiyan style card, you draw 2 cards. If it's not a Saiyan style card, you draw 1 card. Just awesome. Stack your hand. Easily put, 6, 7 cards in your hand every combat. Easy. It's going to be great with Gogeta, who is asinine, and is going to go a long way with what this deck does. Now, with Gogeta here, the big thing that we do need to know about the Legacy format is, while there are more stages here, you still stop at 10. So that hinders him a little bit, but it still puts him at like a healthy 19.5 million, which is at his absolute lowest, not even below the highest bracket. So he is always going to be doing a ton of damage. Power up rating of 11 every turn, which is nuts. Your opponent can't use endurance against this attack. It's a physical attack doing 3 life cards and physical attack table plus 8, which is just a stupid huge attack to the point where it's, for most people, it's not really even fun, but it's pretty hilarious. So that's where we're going to go. Excuse me. That's where we're going to start with this. Now, with the deck here, we're going to start out looking at the non-combats drill package. There isn't a ton of it in the deck because with Gogeta, and as huge as he is, you want to be slapping face for as much of the game as you can. Obviously, we're going to do Earth Dragon Ball 3, draw 3 cards, place the top card of your discard pile at the bottom of your life deck. Just awesome. If you can go on a non-combat step, drop this Dragon Ball, draw 3 cards, rejuve a card, activate your mastery. You're at 9, maybe 10 cards in your hand going into combat. Gogeta's at the absolute highest bracket, doing 7 stages table minimum every single time he attacks. It's just going to get stupid. We've got a Saiyan Arrival drill to just continue the ridiculousness. It's got an endurance of 3, which is fantastic to begin with, but all your Saiyan style attacks do plus 4 stages of damage. So as you can see, this deck is just going to lay on the beat. It's just gonna slap. Obviously your energy drill and protection drill, defense shield drills are always nice. Some people have various opinions per se, but for me, they go in every single deck I build. First 3 cards in every deck is time and the 2 defense shields. They might get weeded out if I go, I absolutely don't want drills or something like that, but most of the time, it's going to be this. Obviously, a copy of Visiting the Past, just a staple card. Limit 1 per deck in Fusion. Use when entering combat, search your discard pile for a card, place it into your hand. If you have more than 3, place a card from your hand at the bottom of your deck. This is awesome. It helps you go get some of your huge attacks that'll set up some of your biggest Saiyan turns with Gogeta. It's just great in the deck. Saiyan Inspection. Your opponent can't use their main personality power while this card's attached. Discard if they play a Dragon Ball. Excuse me. A lot of decks don't even play Dragon Ball. There's a lot of times where this card might Stay attached the whole game, and that is rude. Saiyan Enraged, also a classic card. Raise your anger 2. Rejuvenate the bottom 2 cards of your discard pile. If your MP's power level is higher than your opponent, draw a card. Always going to be higher than your opponent, unless you're sitting on 0, which should not happen. We're going to run 2 of that. Obviously a copy of Time as well, because, you know, it's Time. It goes in every deck. Decks really in this game are 59 cards, because Time takes one of them. And then this is a card that I love. It's silly, and I run it in a lot of my decks as just kind of one of my characteristic cards. Your opponent can pay 1 stage to stop this effect. Both players search the life deck for any card, including a Dragon Ball, put it in their hand without revealing it. This card is going to come in very handy later to set up a turn that your opponent pretty much needs to stop. Granted, they could go fetch a block with it, but you've got plenty of other options in the meantime as well. And I missed a couple of other events here, I apologize. Saiyan Aegis, 0 endurance, not exciting, but stop any attack for the rest of combat. You don't have to remove a card from the game in order to use its endurance. Remove from the game after use. That's awesome, because in Legacy, every single card that doesn't have endurance gains endurance 1, just because the damage output is so high. So we're going to run 2 of that, and then 2 of Saiyan Power Up. MP gains 6 stages, draw the bottom card of your discard pile. Just 9 card hand, 10 card hand, play a card, play this, get another card back in your hand, just keep cycling the attacks through. Going into physicals here, there is a good number of that in the deck, with Gogeta being as beefy as he is. You want to be dropping huge physicals too. On the opposite end of physical dropping attacks, though, Saiyan Perfect Defense goes in every Saiyan deck too. Assuming, I guess, you're playing a high power level MP. Use if your main personality has a higher power stage than your opponent. Stop a physical attack. You can just continue to use this as long as your power level is higher. This should trigger the entirety of combat. Saiyan Neutralization, stop an energy, lower opponent's anger 1. Your opponent skips their next attack or attacks phase. Shuffle in your life deck after use. So now you're going to start getting into a little bit more of what this deck does, thanks to some of the GT cards. And actually, now that Fanzy is out, this deck might be kind of cool with Oppressive to just really like push the skipped action. Ooh, I'm going to have to look into that. Saiyan Stop. This has since been altered. It is now back up to being unlimited. You can have 3 of it in the deck. When I built this deck, it was limit 1. Stop a physical or energy, gain 7 stages. Incredible card. Totally makes sense why it was limit 1. But I'm excited it's back. Saiyan Finisher is also a cool card. 2 endurance, physical attack plus 5. Empower 3, so it can be an 8. If they've not used a card during an attack phase, this combat and your opponent's a villain, triple the base damage of this attack. So that is going to be subjective, not necessarily always going to be used, but at the very least it's a 2 endurance physical attack plus 8. If you're saying drill is out, that's a physical attack plus 12. I mean, that's a 19 something stage attack right there. It's just, again, just stupid. 2 of those. Saiyan Lurch, focus physical attack, doing plus 3 stages of damage. Search your deck for Saiyan style drill, place it into play. Go find your 4-drop or plus 4 damage drill. Just start laying on the beatdown. If successful, your opponent's main personality is at power up rating is set to 0 till the end of the next turn. Can't be modified. That's great too, because it just helps your attacks hurt even more. I'm going to run 2 of that. Saiyan Cross Punch, physical attack, 5 stages, no table. If you declared Tukiwaza, this attack does plus 5 stages, removed from the game after use. This is a reprint of a score promo. It's literally just a 10-stage physical. Fun attack. Stupendous Strike. This card is some bread and butter in this attack, or in this deck. Physical attack doing 4 times the base damage. Cost 5 power stages to perform. There's a lot of times that this is almost a 30-stage attack before you've added any kind of modifiers or anything for the turn. It's stupid. 2 cards, 2 copies. Saiyan Wrist Block. Opponent loses 3 stages. Stop a physical. Fantastic Saiyan block. Saiyan Severing Punch. Always good. They can't gain more than 1 anger from each card effect. Attack table +4. With the drill, that's +8. Till the end of next turn, your opponent can't use effects to advance or lower an MP 1 or more levels. Again, awesome. Just a good attack. We're going to run 2 of. Saiyan Overhead Pound, Endurance 1, Physical Attack +7. This one is masked, which is awesome. You don't have to let your opponent know what card this is before you play it. If stopped, any floating effects that stop your attacks this combat now end, which is incredible. If successful, you can shift a Saiyan card that is an energy combat card. That has just a whole bunch of utility. The shift aspect of it, there isn't a ton of usage in the deck, but there are a good number of good Saiyan energy attacks in the deck that you may be interested in shifting, and this card does see a lot of use, and it's one I'm happy to have added. Saiyan Clothesline, again, great card. Damage attack table +3. If you have a higher power level than the defending personality, it's 2 times the base damage. So you're typically looking at like 14 stages, maybe +4 from your drill, +3 from here. That's a 21 stage physical. Gross. And Saiyan Gut Kick, attack table +4. Opponent skips their next action. Another skip. To just, continue laying waste. Attack table +4. Potentially with drill +8. Just another example of the deck just piling on the damage. Lastly, we're going to get into the energy attacks in the deck. I'm going to save the money shot for the last card here, but Saiyan Soul Explosion, Endurance 2, energy attack for 7, cost 3, your opponent skips his next attack phase. Just a big energy attack. They skip their next phase, which is great. You can continue to attack again. 2 of those. Saiyan Domination, just a 4 damage attack, but if you have a higher power level than your opponent, they can't play any events. So, goodbye time. There's so many cards that this stops, and that's awesome. So, we're going to run 3 of that one. Saiyan Supreme Block, stop an energy, raise your anger 1 level. If you have a higher power level, shuffle this card back into your deck. Just repeat usage block. Fantastic. Into a little bit more GT again. 14 card energy attack. Just huge. Masked. So, really, you're looking at... This could be... And when you're playing an opponent and you're into your second or third game or something like that, they're going to start to wonder if this is going to be this energy attack or if it's going to be that physical attack that stops offloading effects. And it's going to be a little bit of a gamble there. You may shift a Saiyan card that's a physical combat card if successful, removed from the game any physical combat cards in your opponent's discard pile, which is great. A little bit more shift action to sort of help cycle your hand. It's a good card. Endurance 1, which is nice. Energy Ricochet, great block. Endurance 3, which is big, especially in this format. Stop an energy attack, raise your anger 1, lower your opponent's anger 1, remove 2 cards in your Sensei deck from the game to shuffle this back into your life deck after use. Cool card. One thing that I do sometimes do as kind of a joke, I run Elder Kai Sensei with this deck, and just fill it with 21 like random cards, and just cycle Energy Ricochet every time I see it. As far as I've seen yet, there isn't anything I don't think that backfires on me yet, other than I guess that one red card that makes me mill 8 if I don't have any in my discard pile, but I don't see that a ton, and with 21 cards in there, that's a lot of uses out of that. Charge Kamehameha, cost 5, Endurance 2, energy for 17. 5 stages is a lot to pay, but when you're powering up to full every single combat, for 17 life cards base, it's worth it, especially with an endurance of 2. Then we've got Saiyan Power Beam, energy attack, and power 3. so maybe a 7-card life card attack there. If you declare Tukiwaza from the remainder of combat, your opponent can't use their mastery or their drills. Just a great card. Again, one of those that should just go in every single Saiyan deck that has any intention of running an energy. It's a fantastic card. And lastly, and the whole reason I wanted to build a Gogeta deck, 3 copies of Big Bang Kamehameha. Endurance 3, energy attack for 20 life cards, cost 7. If used by Gogeta, it's unstoppable and does an additional 5. So you're looking at 25 life cards, unstoppable. This is the card you go grab with deal. This is the card your opponent has to stop, and that's fine, because, I mean, it's awesome to drop a 25 life card Big Bang Kamehameha. It feels great, it feels thematic, it's awesome. But, at the same time, when you've played your opponent and they know you're going to go grab Big Bang Kamehameha, and then you grab that and you drop it, they're going to stop it with inevitably whatever card they grabbed, and then you can just spend 9 other cards that turn just dropping bombs. So it's an awesome feeling to get one of these off, and it's the whole reason I wanted to build the deck, but it is absolutely not necessary to the win. It just feels really good when it does. Anyway, that is the Cell Saga Trunks, or Cell Saga Saiyan Gogeta Super Saiyan 4, because you only need to run 1 level of a fusion stack. Thanks for watching. I'll be back with some more of these. It's been too long. Have a good day.